This is for Rui Xiang and Aries. So the objective is that number one, today we're gonna learn difference unchange because that is what we didn't complete last lesson. So we're gonna learn difference unchange. Later you must remember to take out your difference unchange notes. Okay. After that, number two, we're gonna do repeated identity. Type 1, type 2, type 3 corrections. So that is it. And then the homework is do difference unchange. Then number 2 is for Friday, you must submit 1 unchange and total unchanged homework. Wait, let me bring it up. All right, so that's it for okay, write down the objectives. These are all the objectives and the homework. Then I want you to start taking out your difference unchanged notes. I'm going to start teaching. Now after that, we start doing corrections. Okay, so for the next one, right, it's called difference constant. Difference constant is the same as difference unchanged. So you can write it in your notes. It's also called as difference unchanged. Now, difference unchanged, right, is always linked to this thing called age. Usually it's an age question. Age question. Okay? Meaning to say, like for example, Rui Xiang, how old are you now? 11. How old is your mommy now? 45. So let's say 2 years later, how old will you be? So when you grow old by 2 years, will your mommy also grow old by 2 years? So can you see? That's why usually it's an age question, because the difference between the age between you and your mommy is always the same. Clear so far? Okay, So that is what it meant. So the difference will always be the same. So now, unfortunately, here you don't see age yet. Later we'll go through. So difference constant, right? It means that if I increase by 2, the other person must also increase by 2. If I decrease by 2, means the other person must also decrease. But remember, last lesson we learned, if I increase by 2 and you decrease by 2, what kind of question type is that? Yeah, I give someone. Means you go up by 2, I go down by 2. What kind of question is that? You must memorize already, by then. Yes, total unchanged. Okay, so right now, this one is different. This one is both go up, both go down, yeah? So they say Luke has $160. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll take this one. Luke has $160 and Isaac has $115 at first. So this is the before. So before, Luke has $160 and Isaac has 115. So this is pink with pink. Okay? Now, this is the key word to tell you that it's a difference constant or difference unchanged, because they say that each of them spend the same amount of money. Correct? Means they both decrease by the same amount. That means that I decrease by the same amount, question mark. I decrease by the same amount, question mark. Means both decrease by the same, question mark. And then after that, they say that after that, Luke. So this is the after. By the way, write smaller, yeah? Might not have space for the second one. After, they say Luke has 4 times as much as Isaac. Means Luke has how much? 4 units. And Isaac? 1 unit. And we know what kind of question is this already. Both of them spend the same amount. Means both drop by the same amount. What kind of question is this? Both drop, not one go up, one go down, So this is a difference unchanged. So difference unchanged means we need to have a column called. This is not total unchanged question. So why are you having a total column? What kind of question type is this? So what kind of column must I have? Because what kind of question is this?
This one is a difference unchanged.
Difference unchanged question. So I already identify as a difference unchanged question. So what does that mean? If I identify as a difference unchanged question and I have to write it in my notes that this is difference unchanged, so what would that mean?
That means you find the difference between you and
So I need to have a column called difference. So the difference between Luke and Isaac will be how much?
164 minus 115.
And how much would that be? So 160 minus 115, and how much is the difference? 160 minus 115, what's the difference?
55.
Nope.
45.
45. And what about for the units? I must also find the difference. And what do I know? What kind of question is this? What kind of question is this? Huh? What does difference unchanged means?
That means if the normal is like, if you have the amount.
Just look at the word there. It's all in there. What does difference unchanged means? It's the same as total unchanged. So what does difference unchanged means?
The difference don't change.
I never write difference don't change. What does difference unchanged means?
Difference stay the same.
So what does difference stays the same means? Difference stays the same means?
That means like the difference between both of you is always the same.
So how do you form the link? We know this difference stays the same.
300 equals to 45.
Exactly. Because I know that difference stays the same, that means that here is the same. And because I know here the same, I can form the link. I can say that 3 units is actually $45, and I can continue solving from there. Solve, solve, solve. Okay? I do not know whether you have enough space for the number 2. If you don't have, you can write it on a post-it. So after that, we'll do number 2. You can go and make your notes now. Okay, so the next one, okay, question number 2 is talking about the same thing. They say that Mrs. Singh is thrice as old as her son. So now, this obviously I know is an age question. Now, when it comes to age, okay, age question type, you need to be really careful when it's an age question type. Because age question type, we don't say things like before and after. Age, we always use like English. Past. Past what? In English, what do you say? Past. Followed by, past something something. Past. Past followed by something, followed by something. Past, present, and yes. So these are the words that we use for age. So the one in pink is actually referring to the present. Okay, so I write that down, present. So the present, we have Mrs. Singh and her son. So Mrs. Singh is 3 units and the son is 1 unit because they say that Mrs. Singh is thrice as old as the son. Now, what did they tell you? They tell you that she is
36 years older than her son.
Yes, 36 years older than her son. So what is that trying to say? When they tell you that I'm 36 years older than the son, this is words to tell you that the difference in what? Difference in? Difference in? The keyword is 36. Difference in what? We don't say mother and son because you're not saying what is this 36 referring to. Difference in? What is this 36? Difference in elephants? Difference in giraffe? Difference in monkeys? Like difference in what? What's that one word they use? No, not difference in years. This one I already went through with you. What kind of question type is this? So difference in? Yes, difference in age is 36. So the difference in age is 36. Now they talk about how many years ago. So how many years ago means it's referring to the what? When they say how many years ago? Past. So write it down. It's the past. Okay, so we find out the past. Now, so how to find your age in the past? Means what must you do? What's the action arrow to find your age in the past? What must you do to find your age in the past? To find your age in the past, what is on the action arrow? What must you write?
Minus.
Yes, minus. And do I know how many years ago is that? So I put minus. If I don't know, I put a minus question mark. Here also minus question mark because it's the same thing, right? And what did they say about Mrs. Singh in the past? They say that Mrs. Singh is actually
4 times as old as us.
so 4 units and some 1 unit, right? And what kind of question is this?
Difference in age.
So what does that mean? I need a what column?
Difference.
Difference column. Do I have a difference column? No. So I'm going to add in a difference column, right? So what is the difference column?
The difference is 36.
Huh? No, it's not 36 for here.
2
2 units. And what about here?
units.
And what about it? What do you notice? What is the problem? What's the problem with this?
The future is
The difference, what kind of question type is this?
difference in age.
So what's the problem with this difference?
Not the same.
So what do we have to do if it's not the same?
Cross
We have to,
and the LCM.
before that, before finding LCM, we have to something, therefore we find the LCM. It's always mentioned in class, in the video. We have to,
It's different.
what kind of question type is this?
Difference in age.
So what do you have to do? You know that difference stays the same. So what do you have to do?
Make it the same.
Make who the same? Make elephants the same. Make giraffe the same.
Make the difference the same.
Yeah, so we have to make the difference the same. Is the difference the same?
No.
So what do we have to do?
Cross multiply.
Cross multiply.
We'll find the LCM.
Find the LCM. So what do I have to do with this thing? I have to times. And here? Okay, so this whole thing bye-bye, right? We'll change. So I'll let you copy first, then later we will continue. Okay, so right now, right, over here, you really figure out that just now you told me there's a difference unchanged question, means with the difference, we must make the same, correct? So right now, we need to go and make the whole thing the same. So this one, whole thing cancel. What is the answer? So I'm going to do again, redo. I have Mrs. Singh and the son. So we have the present. So the present, bye-bye, the 3 units will become? 3 units will become? 3 units is not 6. The 3 units will become?
Oh.
The 3 units will become? 9 what?
9 units.
The 1 unit will become? 3 units, yes. The 4 units will become?
8 units.
Very good. And the 1 unit will become?
2 units.
2 units. And what kind of question type is this? So how do we form the link? Can we form the link already? How do we form the link? What can we say?
9 minus 3.
Yes, why 9 units minus 3 units? Difference in what? The 6 unit is referring to the difference in what?
Present.
Huh? Different in present? No, difference in? Difference in elephants, giraffe, donkeys. Like difference in what? Huh? What? What's the 6 units referring to? Yeah, so 6 units is difference in age. And do we know the difference in age?
Yes.
What is it? Yes, we know it's 36. So what is the link we can form? Yes, 6 units is equal to 36. Then after you can continue solving. Solve, solve, solve. Okay? Now you can copy this whole thing into your notes. Yeah. Okay. So right now, once you're done, just now we learned the concept of difference unchanged, correct? Now we're going to learn how to apply. So I want you to take out a plain piece of paper right now. The heading is called difference unchanged. You can write it down, difference unchanged, and then copy this question, and then we'll start applying on how to do this question. Okay, so right now they say that Felicia is 29 years old and her nephew is 5 years old. So can you see what kind of question type is this? Age. I know that usually at the back of my mind, I know that age means what? It's in terms of past, present, future, but what else? Something more important when it comes to age. What is very important when it comes to age? What is very important when it comes to age? Correct. So you said that the difference in the age is the same. Okay, so right now, so this is the present, right? Yeah. I shouldn't be using red for this. This one I should use in pink. Okay, I'll put in pink. So this is in pink, is in present. So the present, we have Felicia and we have her nephew, right? So Felicia is 29 years old. And the nephew is 5 years old, correct? Okay, so right now, I know that what kind of question type? I know that it's a difference unchanged, so I have a difference column, correct? And what's the difference in Felicia and the nephew? 24. Yes. Now, the question next says that in how many years' time? What is this talking about when they say in how many years' time? Is it the past, present, or future?
Future.
Future. So future means my age will what? Stay the same? Add or minus? Add. So let's see the action arrow. I will add. I do not know how much. I will add. I do not know how much. Right? So copy this whole thing into your notes right now and color code the same thing. Make sure you copy out the question, because if you don't copy out the question, how do you know what is the question? Then next time, how will you revise? So you must copy out the question and follow the same color coding. All right, so now the last one, right? Okay, so the last one is that right now, can you see that say in how many years means it's the future, correct? So we have present and then we have future. So in the future, can you see she says she will be 4 times as old as the nephew. So what does 4 times as old as the nephew means? That means that Felicia will be
4 units.
very good, 4 units, and the nephew will be 1 unit. And that means that we have a difference column because we know it's age, right? So we need to have a difference column. And what's the difference? 3 units. So do you think you can form the link already? What can we say?
3 units equal to 24.
So now we know that 3 units is equal to 24, means we can find
1 unit.
How to find 1 unit?
24 divided by 3.
And how much is 24 divided by 3?
8.
8. However, you need to be very careful because the question is asking how many years time. Understand? So you want to focus. Do you want to focus on Felicia or do you want to focus on the nephew? Who you want? Hmm? Felicia. Okay, so we'll focus on Felicia. So let's focus on Felicia. I'll use a different color. I'll use green. So we focus on Felicia, yeah? So for Felicia, do we know what is her age at the moment? Okay, how much is her present age? 29. Okay, and after that, what can we find from here? We know the present age is 29 and we can find the present age we found already is 29. And what else can we find? Yes, we can find her future age. And what's her future age?
8 times 4.
Why do we take 8 times 4?
Because 1 unit is 8.
1 unit is 8. Very good. And we know that the future age is
4.
4 units. So we know that it's 4 times 8, right? And how much is her future age? 32. So do we know how many years time would that be? How to find how many years time?
And take the future age.
Yeah, we take the future age, which is how much? 32, yeah. We take the future age, which is 32, and what do we do with that? What do we do with the future age? Because we want to find in how many years time. Yes, we take 32 and minus away 29, and how much do we get? 32 minus 29? 3, yes. So the answer is 3. That is 3 years time. Okay? That's it. You can make your notes now and then you should be able to do the rest of difference unchanged. So can you hand in your repeated identity for me to mark?